So, ladies, I got a question for you.
Hmm.
I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and we started talking about what we do for fun in our lives. And it got me to really thinking because I had to take a pause when they said, "Well, what do you do for fun?" And I thought, oh, my immediate thought was, what I do for fun, I don't think you would think is fun. So I don't know how to answer that question. Just because the person I was talking to, there's quite an age difference between her and me. So I thought, what you do for fun is probably much different than what I do for fun. So it got me to thinking about that whole thing and how often have we been in situations, certainly I can remember in my younger years, whereby my life was so busy with trying to take care of kids and ailing parents and you running a business and all of that, that it was like, I don't really have time to have a lot of fun. Like my day is so full that, if I can get a date once every 3 months with my husband, that's great. Um, and I think it's such an important aspect of our lives, and we don't give it enough thought. So I'm going to throw the question out to you. What do you ladies do for fun?
Well, I
Anybody?
know what I do for fun. You guys don't want any part of.
But what is it? What do you do for fun?
Well,
If you had to label four things, what would
oh
they
my
be?
God, four?
Oh, yeah, I know, eh?
Four? Wow.
Four.
Well, some of them you would do, but you guys, I do find my working out and running and hiking it's fun for me. Even
Okay.
though at times it can be hard because if I'm training for something, but even if I'm not training for something, it's just so embedded in my day to day that I do consider it fun
Okay.
in a way. I love to read. So I love
Mhm.
going to the library and finding new authors and talking to
Mm.
people about books and that type of thing. So now we're at the cottage. So boating is a really good, well, today is the first time in almost a week that it's finally like we don't have these high winds and everything. So can't
Mm.
wait for my boat ride today. And fourth, hey, Tracy G, come back to me on my fourth.
I think I do the exact same thing I did in my 20s.
Oh,
We go to rock
awesome.
concerts. I ski. I snowboard, but I never used to do that in my 20s. But like we go, we are concert goers. We love to go to our concerts and do our little rock out and whatever's coming down the pike, or we'll go down to places to get there. So that's one of the things we do for fun. We don't go out for dinner a lot just because my husband's a really good cook. So he cooks a lot of stuff for us. But I would definitely say any type of concerts and socializing. We do a lot of socializing where it's either playing cards with the girls or doing just get together dinners. That's probably when we have our dinners. And like I said, we do ski trips. We do summer trips. We don't have a cottage that we go to, so we do little ones with
Mm.
groups of people. So, and that's to me exactly what I've done all my life. So I don't see, like I haven't changed a lot in what I do for fun. And
That's
then I nerd
awesome.
out a lot. Like I like to go down the computer and nerd out. Even though that's what I work on, I like to go down that little area of my kind of my downtime. But I definitely think it's something you need to keep doing regardless of your age.
Hmm.
I
Agreed.
found my fourth. It's golf.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay, Tracy E, what are your four?
what are my four? I would have to say, reading is one of them for sure. Um, I like golf. I don't do a lot of that, but I would like to do more of that. Family vacations, definitely. We do a lot of that. We have lots of vacation time together. So I love planning, the trips and finding all of that. That's tons of fun for me. And I would say, what else? My cottage, right? Because I typically, that's a happy place and it's got great memories, and I've been here my whole life, and now I'm sharing it with my grandson, so that's, tons of fun. Um, how many's that?
That's four.
Okay,
Yeah.
All,
good.
what was the first
Awesome.
one?
But here's the thing. I love Tracy G, that I think in a lot of our conversations, I find that you are very centered and very rooted in
Mhm.
things. And this is one of them because you've been doing it all along. And for me, fun has evolved because I was such a people pleaser. Fun was whatever the thing that was going on at that point.
Hmm.
And at that point, fun evolved around a lot of high alcohol,
Mm.
you know? And so in, I'd say past 15, 20 years ago, if somebody asked me what I did for fun, I probably would have cried. Like if we were in a um like team building episode or ice breaking episode, and someone's like, well, tell somebody something different about yourselves, like what you like to do for fun outside of work. I would like break out in shakes, cold sweats. Like I would not be able to answer that question because was so anxiety ridden that I was trying to keep my whole world together, that the thought of doing something fun was, I had no clue what that meant. The second thing for myself also is I could lean more towards the masculine energy, that I have to tick off my like to-do list. I get
Hmm.
so tunnel vision in everything I have to do that fun is not in there. And so even with when I'm coaching clients, a big component of the wheel of life. And within one of those pies is recreation. And that has been life changing for me. So even for today, like later today, I'm going to be looking at my June goals because I try to break things out by month.
Mhm.
And I do have recreation in there. And I am going to put down something out of the norm for me to do in the month of June, so I can have more experiences. Now, it might be something I continue to do, or it might be something I don't ever do again. But it's the fact to try and open my world more to that.
Sorry, can I, and now you don't have to answer this because it's personal, but so you didn't have fun because most of it was wrapped in alcohol. And was that because you didn't know what you wanted to do for fun, or that you were so unhappy you didn't care about fun and this was just the thing to numb it?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
It was a
So
little
you
bit of
hadn't
both.
defined what Michelle, who she was and what she thought was fun, regardless of what it was, you had not determined
Right.
that yet.
Right. So if I wanted to do something, let's just say,
Yeah.
and I thought something was fun, if somebody poo-pooed it or put it down or thought it
Yeah.
was ridiculous, my anxiety people pleasing skills would go
Right.
into, oh, Michelle, that's idiotic. Why would you want to do that?
Right.
You know? But
So then you would just like you would go, I'm not gonna fight for this thing to do
Yeah.
because they've
right,
already told me it's not,
right.
I'm not good,
But
like it's silly that I'm even thinking of this.
right. And but
Okay.
little by little, like I had a friend who loved to go walking through the prairies here in Wisconsin. And she would say, come on, let's go at lunchtime. Well, that's probably where the love of my hiking started to come into play. But if I was in an environment and said to do that, and that person would be like, what? Why?
Just take the car.
Yeah. Then it would just, my
Wow.
self-worth, my self-esteem, everything. Like I knew that was something totally missing from my life. That and don't get me wrong, it's not like I never have fun. I
No, no,
have
no,
great
no.
memories with my children. I have great
Mhm.
memories of times with people and vacations and trips, but they were more one-offs than they were something to like for me to sit and have a conversation with. Like another thing I'd love to do, and I've been doing it more and more, is I love to cook and bake.
Mm,
And I
me
will
too.
try something new or new recipe. I will try in both food and baking. I'll try to, and I'm building my skills. And to me, that's like I'm having a ball
Right.
doing that, you know? But I would never allow myself to have that kind of fun. Or I I might have been doing it, to be very honest, Tracy, and thinking I was doing it to please somebody. Like my happiness was because that other person was happy that I did it. And maybe I was having fun, but I wouldn't allow, I couldn't bring down that wall
Mhm.
to understand that I was also happy.
Yeah.
You look confused, Tracy G.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. I'm just trying to figure that out. Like,
You
Yeah,
know what? It's a beautiful thing that you have to figure that out.
yes,
Truly
it is.
is. It's a beautiful thing. I totally understand what you're saying, Michelle, but yeah, it is a beautiful thing because it's when you are a people pleaser, you always come
you put
not
your
last, not last, it's below last, whatever that, like whatever the bottom could possibly be. And everything hinges on external stuff. Like
You're
you're
guys are making me cry right now. Below last, like
I
that is
am,
just
I am like, I'm on the verge of tears also. I'm like, oh my God, we just hit a wound big time.
crazy. That's
yeah.
just so sad. Sorry. We're not making
But you know, here's the thing though. Like the flip side of that is that you get to work on yourself, you get coaching, you get help, you come out of that, and then you get to say, hey, you know what? I'm not going to do that anymore. Or
and
I'm not going to do it as much.
you
Or
actually can
to
probably see that in other people that you might be able to help them too, right?
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. And you can
yeah.
That's right.
say, you know, today I'm going to choose me. Today I'm going to choose
Yeah,
this situation. Doesn't, you don't wake up one morning and go, okay, that's it. That's never happening again. But it's a process.
Right.
And that is what is so beautiful is that it can be a process that you get to the point where you can just kind of go, you know what? This is going to be for me. I'm going to do this for me. And that's okay.
yep,
And, you know, and I'm happy doing it. And to recognize that you are happy doing it, even though it's making somebody else happy, is a good thing.
yeah,
You know,
that is
like
fine.
I cook and bake just like you do, Michelle, and I do it because it makes me happy, but it also makes my family extremely happy. They're the
Yes,
benefactors of all that good stuff. So
right.
So
That's
is
the
this
important part.
all starting though from the stories in our head?
it starts from self-worth. That's what it starts
Yeah,
from.
I'm like,
Your
But is it haven't we always said that that starts with what we're telling
Yes,
ourselves?
because your self-worth creates or your lack of self-worth creates self-doubt, which then makes you question everything, which leads to more low self-esteem, which just kind of starts to spiral that. And yes, you are constantly telling yourself stories of this probably isn't going to be good enough. I probably shouldn't do this. I probably shouldn't voice this situation, or I probably shouldn't ask for this. It's probably wrong, right? You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
and over analyzing. You
Yeah.
over analyze everything.
And
So
and the saddest part is that it's not it almost ends up being a lifestyle where this is what you are living until you kind of recognize that this is what you're living and you're like, I don't think this is right.
But it's
I
probably
think
hard
I
to
should.
recognize too, right? Because it's what
Yeah,
you know.
it is. It's what you know. It's what you do. You do it really well. So your brain naturally goes, hey, I can take care of this for you. I know exactly
Yep,
how to solve this problem.
yep,
And you just do it over and over and over and over and over again until it becomes part of who you believe you really are.
yep. Yeah, it's a belief system. It's a story you tell yourself, but for me, it also was what other people were saying to me, you know. So, and also, I love my parents dearly. I always preface this, but they also didn't have fun. They were workaholics.
Yeah.
Mm.
Built a very good life, you know, but I mean, we did have fun. We went to, we owned a cottage till I was 16, so I do have memories of a cottage time. But it was limited because my dad, he owned a restaurant, so we were going
That's
back and
right.
forth to the restaurant.
Mhm.
We were only there 2 weeks in, I think, July when my mom got off from her nursing job, you know, so it was things like that. But the thought of going out to dinner, I mean, the only times we really had company over were holidays.
Mhm.
Like there was always somebody was always working. I worked from the age of 14, you know. I didn't go to football games. I didn't go to my proms. I didn't go to baseball games. I was working at the restaurant.
Mhm.
So I don't think I understood the thought of what fun was. Fun was going to watch my brother play baseball.
Mhm.
Fun was sitting in front of the TV watch with my stepdad watching a football game. Like, you know? So I think it's also in that environment that you're brought up with.
I think people also compare fun to other people, like what they see
Mhm.
somebody else and what they do, and you think, oh God, I don't do any of those things. Just like I said at the beginning, like, what's fun for me when I was talking to this girl was, like she's, much younger than me. So her definition of fun and my definition of fun at my age is obviously not necessarily going to be the same. Although Tracy, for you it is, right? Like that's how you've
Yep.
defined your fun in your life. And also that is your environment. Like your partner is into music, your kids are
Yeah.
into music, like it becomes very easy to be a part of that because you guys have made it an important part of your lives, right? And
Well,
it's
Right.
just choosing that and it's fun to do.
our friend, they've just gone for them to do this 2 week kayak thing in Utah where you go and you bring your own kayak, you bring your own food. That is the last thing that I look at. It's fun.
It's
And
fun. Yeah.
they're same age and they're like, this is, oh, can't wait to go to it,
Yeah.
right? So it's
Yeah.
just to me, it's whatever that you're just consciously doing something that makes you happy.
Mhm. I would
But I
love
think
to
you
do that
hit,
trip.
See, would you? Oh,
yeah.
I'll
Oh
tell
yeah.
you
Oh,
about it
Oh,
when
me
you
we've
come
too.
done
back. You
several of
still
them.
on it.
My
But here's
Megs
the
and I have
thing
done
too.
mother and daughter trips like that.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Where you
Yeah.
carry and you even like everything in and out of the
Everything.
yeah.
Yeah, you're kayaking. We went kayaking in BC, actually. We went kayaking in BC to go see the orcas. It was a 2 week trip and it was amazing. And yeah, so you were interior the entire time. And we came out of that, and a week later, we flew up to the Northwest Territories, and we did like this big family thing with her husband's family and all of us. And we did a 2 week trip up there where like there is no cell service, there's
Yeah.
nothing. Like you are truly with nature. It was
I
awesome.
understand that much. But here's the thing I think that's really unique here. Maybe we have to stop having conversations of fun on what we are. I think, Tracy E., you said it in the beginning. What my definition of fun and what your definition of fun is are two different things. Maybe we need to start having conversations about fun and be lean in to that conversation to get
Mhm.
to know that person better.
Mhm.
So even though Tracy G, your definition of fun is skiing, which I couldn't ski for the life of me, have no desire to. But being able to sit and have a conversation and watch your face light up about you talking about skiing is more important than, oh, I don't want to talk to her about skiing, that we have nothing in common. Well, we don't need to have anything in common. We need to have a conversation.
Mm.
That's
Mhm.
all it is.
And I also think outside of that, though, it's just that making sure you are having whatever your different definition of fun is, that you are bringing fun to your life every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be a big kayak 2-week trip. Like
No,
like you said, it could be reading, it could be baking.
Mhm.
it could be go to a library and find a new book to read if you're a reader, an author you've never known before.
Mhm.
So here's something I did totally, totally non-Michelle, totally non-Michelle. I went into a library to return books. I've been a library person for the last 5 years, like, because I'm a reader, and I was like, why am I spending all this money on books just to keep giving them away? I
Yeah.
could, like, support the local library. Okay. So I do that. So I find one down in Naples. I go in, and this is my mother's ring. Okay. I don't see many like them. I see more dome rings, but nothing is this prominent. And I'm walking through the library, and there's this beautiful petite woman on a computer, an older woman, and she has the exact same ring on.
Oh, wow.
And it
What?
caught my eye. And I went and got my books that I wanted. I was doing some things, and I walked back. And normally it hit my mind and I would just keep walking. I didn't. I stopped and I complimented her ring when I put my hand down. And she's like, I have never seen anyone else with the exact same ring. And she got it from her great aunt, and I got mine from my mother.
That's
She's
awesome.
80, she was 80 something years old. And we had a conversation, and she's a curator and she does websites for fine arts.
Oh,
And here's
Wow.
me having a conversation like, I know nothing about fine arts. She said, well, it's not this weird. And she's having this whole conversation with me. I spent a half hour with her, and I walked out afterwards and I was like, what the hell just happened? Like, what did I just do? Like, so it was kind of a way of having fun without
yeah.
even having fun. Like, I had a conversation with this beautiful petite woman in her 80s, still making websites, still
Awesome.
talking about fine arts. And she's picking out things, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So you don't always have to define fun. Like, it could just fall in your lap a little bit.
And fun is everywhere. I think the moral of the
Yeah.
story of that
Yeah.
is fun is everywhere.
Yeah.
You just need to be open to it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So how do you define fun? What do you do for fun? Give us some ideas. Never know. We might try them out. If you have questions on how to have fun, we can't answer them. We might have to find somebody to help us with that one. But please comment below and share this episode with somebody that you think needs to have a little bit more fun in their life. And if you like this episode, please hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. And don't forget to hit notifications so you know when our next episode comes out. Until then.
Thanks for watching, and we hope to see you as a regular member of our community.